Hi everyone and welcome to episode 20 of the Little Bee podcast. My name is Kirsty and I am the sole creator behind Little Bee. So gonna get out the way where you can find me first. Sorry for the glare in my glasses. This is not gonna work. So where you can find me first, you can find me in two places on Instagram. I am Little Bee Kirsty, which is more of a personal everything and anything kind of Instagram. And then you've got my Little Bee Accessories, which is more of my knitting and my creations. So pick or choose whichever one you want to follow. If you want to follow both, fantastic, come say hi. If you don't, awesome. You can find me on Ravelry as Little-Bee, and there's also the Little Bee Podcast forum or group, whichever one you really want to call it. So you just jump onto Ravelry, go into the forums of the group section and put in Little Bee Podcast, and mine should be the one that pops up. If not, just send me a wee message on Ravelry and I will send you the link. So I can't believe we have got to episode 20. For a couple of weeks now I've I say a couple of months now, I've kind of been like, should I not carry on podcasting, but I've decided to kind of put a wee bit more effort into it, I think would be the right word to go for, and basically just get back into it because it is something I really enjoy. I've been talking to quite a few of you through messages on either Instagram, a couple of people on Facebook. I've met some fantastic people through it, a lot of the Scottish podcasters mostly. Got to stop saying So it's been really good, so I've decided to keep at it, and here we are. So for any kind of regular viewers, you'll be like, why is she podcasting on a Tuesday? Purely because I didn't have to take a shift slide. I decided to take a shift slide because my mummy bee, my mum, was in hospital this morning. She's okay. Before anyone starts panicking, she is okay. She's now back home. She had a wee operation today, so I decided to take a shift slide to pick her up. But she got out of the hospital before I actually finished my shift slide, so came home, she's resting, she is sleeping at the moment. So I've decided to tidy up and podcast. So here we are. So in the forms of any other admin stuff, there is the colourwork cal going on at the moment. I will show off the progress because I don't know where I put my pattern. You can find all the details for the colourwork cal on the Ravelry group. There's a post up at the moment for the colourwork cal. It's a free pattern on Ravelry if you want to partake. It started on the 14th of November and will run to the 14th of December. So you do still have plenty of time to jump in and basically start if you wanted. So here's my progress. I've gone for some seriously wacky, amazingly bright colours. And these were actually, came as a pack that I got at Perth Festival of Yarn just a couple of months ago. So these came to get, I say they came as a pack, I picked these ones. The other one came as a pack. So I actually picked these colours and they look really, really good together. So I don't know if it's blue or green coming up on the camcorder, but this is a teal, an orange and purple, cream and bright pink, cream and purple, and then it'll go back to cream and pink, then this border, and then a wee bit of this ribbing. And then that's it done. So that's how the thumb is looking there. And it's got some very interesting increases on the thumb. And I wasn't really sure what I thought of them, and I was going to change it to just your standard make one, but I decided to have a wee word with myself and say, nope, go with what the pattern says, they've done it for a reason, and it looks okay. I think it's just because it was an increase I hadn't done before, that I just wasn't really sure if I was doing it correct, wasn't really sure what I thought of the effect. But I do actually like how it's coming out, so I'll see if I can get a wee close up there. So you pick up, you see how that one stitch seems a wee bit longer than the one above it? You pick up the stitch from the row before. either before you're about to knit it or after, depending where you are on the pattern. So it is interesting, and I do really like this pattern. I've been waiting such a long time for this colourwork Kyle to start. So there is a forum thread at the moment, so enter any of your progress pictures in there. I will start another thread for finished objects. It's a participation cal only, there are no prizes. So it's really kind of partake at your own discretion if you want to. And there's the Instagram hashtag that I now can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, it's been a long day, guys. I've been up since 4:15 this morning. So it's been a long day. 2 seconds and I will just get the... Yep, so it's Little Bee Colour Cal. That's what I have on Instagram for it. So that's the first project on the go. And also part of the admin, so that kind of gets 2 birds, 1 stone. Another part of the admin is I'm going to really kind of put a wee bit more effort into the podcast. I've kind of lost and gained a few subscribers over the last couple of podcasts because of the swearing. I have decided to go back to PG just because it's just a wee bit nicer, a wee bit more polite. I'm not going to promise that there's not going to be any slip-ups and any kind of surprise swear words by accident, but you never know. I haven't had any bad feedback from it. I've had quite a few people say just be how you are, and depending on the people I'm around I swear a wee bit more than normal, and then depending who I'm around again, I guess that is, I really should kind of change how that... Oh no, I've dropped stitches. So I guess it depends who I'm around, how much swearing actually comes out of me. So if I'm around some of like my closest friends, I don't really swear as much as people might assume I do. So it's a bit of a 50-50 really as to whether I actually do swear. So I've decided since that I don't really swear a lot in person, I'm not gonna swear on the podcast anymore. So some of you may be happy about that, some of you may not be happy about that, and some of you may not care. That's just how we're gonna roll. So we're going to swiftly move on to the next work in progress, and it's my nearly finished. I'm going to say I'm about got a third left to do of my mitten. So this is what the first one looks like, and this is where I am on this one. So you can see just how little I need to do, and I really can't wait to have these done because it's so cold here in Scotland. It's so cold. And my fingers are the coldest part of me because I have so many hats, I have so many shawls, and believe it or not many pairs of gloves. So my hands are really taking the brunt of this weather, and especially in the morning when I've got to drive to work, I really don't like touching my steering wheel. I'm like holding it as little as possible. But I do have the mittens that I got sent by one of the first people that ever sent me anything, Marie. I think. Oh my god, what is with my brain today? Brain fog, seriously. So yeah, I do have some mittens that I keep solely in the car, and they are beautiful. They're so soft and they're so warm, but it's just so cold. So I really need like thermal gloves. Maybe I'm not sure. It's just, when I was bigger, when I weighed a lot more, I didn't feel the cold. So now that I've lost quite a chunk of weight, like the cold just goes right through me. I can't not feel it now. So I'm not a sun baby. I'm not actually ginger, so I burn. I'd say I'm a spring baby. I really like the spring and autumn when it's just the right weather. So I don't cope in warm weather, and I really don't cope in cold weather. So I need to find that kind of middle ground. So moving on from there, I'll show you some finished objects. I know I talked about my knitting projects that I'm doing for the home, like knitting project that I'm doing to knit stuff for the homeless, and that's still very much on the go. And the reason I can get through so much of it is this little object here. I say little, it's not actually that little. Is my Addy circular, I want to say Express, but I don't think that's right. Addy Express king size. There we go. Knitting loom or knitting machine really, and it's not your standard knit machine. A standard knit machine is quite a tight gauge, small stitches, and it's a flat bed and it goes back and forth, back and forth. This is a circle and it's got a handle that you turn round the way, and you can make a circular tube or a flat piece. So I decided to get it, and it's just been a godsend for making hats. You can whip one up in less than 30 minutes if it's just going to be a plain knitted hat. And this is some of the results. So I only brought two. Yep, the ends are not woven in yet. And it's making my life a wee bit easier when it comes to knitting my project for the homeless, and it means I'm going to get more done in a shorter period of time, which is really good because I do want to help as many people as I can this winter, because like I say, it's so cold in Scotland at the moment. I know there's places colder. I just want to do my part. So another project I am working on is also making mittens. So I've been working on these and I'm really enjoying making them. I'm making a couple of different sizes. So this grey one is ever so slightly smaller than this green one. And it's just because you never know, some people have bigger and smaller hands. So it's not really giving them much variety, but I obviously want to kind of cater to as many people as I can and help them. So it's literally just going to be a case of I'm going to shove everything in a bag. I'm going to get some bottles of water, whatever food I can get that's not easily distributed, that's not the right word, but like, what's the point in getting them something in a can if they don't have a tin opener, that it needs heated when they don't have a cooker. So I need to be really careful about what food items I get, and I'm also planning on getting a few tins of dog food because quite a lot of the people in Glasgow have dogs, and I just see them and my heart breaks, not just for the dogs, obviously my heart breaks for the people, and if I can help the person then I can help the dog. So it just seems the right thing to do. So I'm going to get bottles of water, some food and some dog food. I wish I had more time and I could maybe try and whip up some blankets, or if I even had just a wee bit of money that I could go to the pound shop and get some stuff or something, because I'm trying to keep the people warm, but I'd also like to give them blankets and blankets for their dogs and stuff. So it's a heart aching project for me. A lot of other people might not see it that way, but you never know when homelessness will strike you. It could be your friend, it could be someone in your family. You could know some people, like you might know them directly, but like you could see someone in the street and then go, oh my god, I know them from years ago. So it's not something I would want anyone I know to go through, and knowing I don't even know the people that I'm going to try and be giving stuff out to, but it still breaks my heart that they're out there and they're not getting more help. So, but I kind of preached this in the last episode, so I'll kind of move on from there. I've been doing some spinning. I'm really enjoying my e-spinner that I got. It's been great to get back into spinning. And I did grab a bobbin before I started podcasting, and I just wanted to show you guys some of the progress. So I got a braid at Perth Festival of Yarn, and it was Superwash Falkland. It's so beautiful and so soft. So when I got the braid, I literally just halved the braid as well as I could, and I'm going to spin one half on one bobbin, one half on the other bobbin, and then ply the two together. So this is the first finished bobbin. Sorry, the glare coming off my light is ridiculous. So it's all sorts of colour. There's orange, there's green, there's blue, there's yellow. quite a lot of white as well. It wasn't it's kind of like speckled dyed. I don't know how to explain it. So I've spun it up as best I could. So I tend to do it by strips. So you spin a strip at a time instead of taking half and spinning the whole half, because I want to get some form of colour repetition, and not so much to get stripes, just, I don't know what look I'm going for. I'm just seeing a lot of hand spun yarn on Instagram and Facebook, and it's just inspiring me to get spinning and making my own wool. And the colour combinations people have, oh my gosh, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I seen that one the other day and they'd managed to spin it into a rainbow, and I was just in absolute awe. I was like, how did you do that? How did you spin that so perfectly? And it's like, that would have had to have taken some amount of thought and planning and absolute dedication. So when I'm spinning, I'm not really paying much attention. I just know I'm spinning strip by strip by strip. So I just pick up a strip each time I finish the next one, and I don't really think about running it from one end to the other and then the same end every time. So I kind of just grab it and spin. So there's no I would say organisation to what I do, but there's some form of a thought process in there, maybe. So that's my knitting projects and my crochet projects, and I just want to show off just a tiny wee bit of stash acquisition, and it's purely just to kind of promote another indie dyer. So my mum tagged me on Facebook on something, so they're basically doing a lucky dip on the stock that this indie dyer had, and you could kind of stipulate what colours you were looking for. Like, so if I wanted, say, purples and blues, which is my normal go-to, I would have messaged her saying like whatever thickness it was. So all I sent in my message was I would prefer sock yarn, because it's mostly what I use for all my colour work project. I also really do enjoy doing shawls, so it is one of my go-to thicknesses, or I don't know, what do we call it? It's not thicknesses, that's too long a word. Yarn weight. Yeah, let's go with that. So the indie dyer is Truly Hooked. They're on Facebook for definite. Not sure if they're on Instagram, so don't quote me on that one. So this is the first one I got. So it's orange, pink, white, blue / teal. Let's see if there's any other colours hidden in here. Wee bit of lilac. Tiny bit of white. Yeah, so that's that one. It's really, really gorgeous. And this one wouldn't have been something I would have picked if I was in a shop, but I still like it. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. There's some colours. So this one is called Trying to be Subtle, and I can see why she chose that name. So there's, like up here for instance, like, oh, it's pure washing out, something awful. It's kind of like an ice blue right up the top, so very, very, very pale blue. And that then goes into a slightly green to a more blue. And then there's, it's not yellow, but it's not green. So it's kind of in between yellow and green. It looks yellow on my screen, but in person, it's in between. And there's a lot of white, so it is all pale colours. And I think it's going to be really interesting to knit up. I can't quite picture how it's going to look, but I know it's going to be nice. So if you head over to Truly Hooked and have a wee nosy at their yarn. Oh, I forgot to say what this one was called, sorry guys. So this one's called Extrovert. Oh, I really need to think up my set up a wee bit more. So these are a standard sock weight, and it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and 225 meters per 100 grams. So that's for both of those. So they are the same weight, same thickness, and same base, which is really good. I have nothing else to show. This is like such a short podcast. I am working in quite a lot of amigurumi at the moment. I've had quite a few craft fairs, and all my animals but my bears have sold. So all my triceratopses, my penguins, my pugs. What other ones did I do? Oh, we've got one cat left. I stopped making bunnies because of the tails, but that's just personal preference that I stopped doing those. So I do have a couple of bears left, and I've got 2 more craft fairs for up to the end of the year. So I'm going to try and make quite as much as I can. As for my swim bags, I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from people that have got them, and they're also doing quite well during my craft fairs. So I really need to try and organise time. One of my strong points, well no, not my strong point at all, is actually organising how to fit everything in. So I need to do a lot of crochet work. I really need to get back to my sewing machine. I haven't touched it in a couple of weeks, and I would love to get back to dyeing my yarn. So there's also a few other projects in amongst all that, and I just need to find the time to get it all done. And talking of my yarn dyeing, there's going to be a new surprise coming into the new year. I'm working with another Ravelry user, you know who you are, who's kindly messaged me and said that they would like to help out, and it's going to be a new process for me, and I'm quite interested to see how it turns out. So please look for signs in the coming future and the start of the new year as to what I am teasing you about, I think would be the word. So, confession time. Everyone is on about socks at the moment. Everyone is knitting socks. This podcast, by the way, I swear to God, it's from A to Z to B. It's all over the place. So everyone's knitting socks at the moment, and I feel the need to kind of knock this nail on the head and put it to bed, basically. I hate knitting socks. There, I said it, I admitted it. I do not like knitting socks. I did get the sock bug, and I made 2 pairs, and I started a 3rd pair, and I started that 3rd pair months ago, and I haven't touched them since. I tried to, and I was just like, I'm literally knitting in a circle, and I'm bored. So yeah, I've finally admitted it. I hate knitting socks. It's not for me. And that's why I'm not taking part in any sock swaps or sock talk or general sock making craziness. So that kind of knocks that one on the head, and I'm going to put that to bed because it's just not something we need to talk about. On another note, I'm going to quickly look at my diary and kind of try and predict if and when my next podcast will be, if there's any sort of curiosity about that. And the reason I'm doing that is because my amazing other half is taking me away to London. So normally I would podcast in 2 weeks' time, and yep. Oh no, hang on, I'm in the wrong month. I might get a podcast in before I go away. And basically what it is we're going to London for the weekend. I've been to London once before. I didn't get to see as much as I would have liked. But now knowing that I'm going to be going to London, I'm kind of like, oh my god, where can I go? What do I do? There's so much to get done. I literally only have 2 days to get everything fitted in. And at that, the Saturday that I am there, I'm going to be in Harry Potter Land, Harry Potter Studios, whatever you want to call it. I am going to the Harry Potter Studios, and I am not the biggest fan of Harry Potter, by no means, considering my sister is a huge, huge fan. But I'm going to the Harry Potter Studios, and I am really looking forward to it. And so I literally have Sunday and then a little bit of Monday before the flight back home. And I say a little bit, I don't actually think I have any time on Monday, because we're going to literally begin getting up, leaving the hotel and going back to our flight. So if anyone has any recommendations of what I can squeeze in a Sunday, I'm not sure what's open in London on Sunday. I don't know if that's me being naive because I live in a small town and stuff closes on a Sunday. But if there's any wool shops open, can you let me know? Because I would love to go to some wool shops. And the only thing I really, really want to see is Hamleys all lit up and like their Christmas decorations and stuff. So if anyone has any recommendations of what I can do in London on a Sunday, please, please, please let me know, because you have no idea. Like my brain is just going London Eye, shopping, the Thames in general, like too much, like seriously too much. So yes, if anyone's got any recommendations of what I can do in London, please, please, please let me know. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to insert a couple of clips though, because I've decided to include a wee bit more in my podcast, just because people have kind of said they would really like to see more of where I live, more of what I get up to. So I've decided to include a wee bit of my favourite place, and I'm sure I maybe put a wee bit of this up in one of my really early podcasts, and I just wanted to kind of show it again, especially considering it's looking really, really pretty with all the snow. So enjoy the next couple of clips. I will see you in 2, maybe 3 weeks. Don't hold me to that. So I'm going to go clear up all the stuff I've just pulled out of the podcast. Enjoy the next couple of clips, and I hope that the editing of this video is a wee bit better than normal. So come say hi on any of the platforms I mentioned at the start of the podcast. Leave a couple of comments if you want. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and generally just have an awesome day. Have a great time, happy knitting, happy crocheting, happy crafting, and I will see you when I see you. Bye!